As we welcome everyone back, a reminder that you are in track one. We talk about purpose, people, culture. If by mistake you're in the wrong track, reminder that track two is on the other side, and that's key insights driving growth through trust and innovation in the workplace. So, welcome to track one. And our first breakout session is going to be on people, purpose, and culture. And we have three organizations here with us today who have been featured on the list of best workplaces in Sri Lanka for a couple of years. And we're going to listen to the leaders of these organizations and understand how they have navigated through challenges, thrived, and sustained high trust, high performance work cultures. We'll listen to the three of them, and then in the last 10 minutes of the session, we'll have all three speakers back on stage for your questions, okay? So we begin with our first organization, which is Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka. So of course, Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka is from the hospitality, food and beverage industry and have made it to the best workplaces in Sri Lanka list for the 10th consecutive year. Representing Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka, we have Chinthaka Mahesh, Director Operations of the organization. Chinthaka is an experienced person in FMCG sales, distribution, and operations management, and has previously worked at Heineken Sri Lanka, British American Tobacco Sri Lanka, Freight Links International, and Sri Lankan Airlines. He's also a visiting lecturer at CIPM and ICPT campus, and is currently reading for his doctorate at the University of Kelaniya. Chinthaka will present the purpose approach, focusing on how purpose-driven leadership inspires teams, fosters innovations, and drives sustainable growth at Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause as we welcome to the stage Chinthaka Mahesh. Come on, put your hands together, everybody.
Morning, everyone. I hope I am audible. I'm honored to be here today in front of this wonderful crowd who are professionals, who have won accolades in Great Place to Work, who have steered their workplaces to become the great place. So, thank you. So, today I'm going to do a short session on how purpose leadership and sustainable business growth has helped Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka Private Limited to be in the positions where we are today. A quick introduction of the company who has won, or the trust that has gained the trust of the nation, which is Gamma Pizza Craft Lanka, who's the solest franchisee for a household brand called Pizza Hut, and another brand called Taco Bell. So let me start with what purpose-led leadership is. Simon Sinek says that you'll have to start with why before you communicate what and how. That's a traditional way of communicating. You communicate what do I have to sell, and how am I going to sell it, and then I'll be telling why I should be or why you should be buying it, right? But he says you should start from inside out of that golden circle. You should always start with why. Why you should be buying this, because you don't buy what I want you to buy, you don't buy what I produce, you will buy what you believe, but connects with you well. And then you will go on to say, this is what it can do to you, and this is how you can do it. So it's the same case in business leadership also. Why, if you put your why, the purpose in place properly and communicate it properly to your workforce and rest of the stakeholders, they will buy your idea. They will believe because that connects with you. So the purpose is the link that you're going to have, or the connect that you're going to have with your business strategy, and give your stakeholders, give your employees Give your customers a reason to be with you. That's the purpose. And it is very important. I was looking for a slide to articulate this, and then I came across this. Gone are the days we could anticipate the business direction, the trajectory which we worked. It was somewhat predictable. We could predict the market. We used to have 5 to 10 years business plans. But now we are talking about a very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous market, which is VUCA, right? Market is evolving, market is changing. Every day, every minute. Competition is changing every minute. Not only that, I think one of the keynote speakers presented, they said, I think it was Michelle who said, we are managing a workforce with 5 generations in it. Right? Workforce diversity is very high. So as business leaders, our challenge is much bigger than it used to be 2 or 3 decades back. And that's where purpose comes, because we give people a reason to believe and change. If not, it's very tough for us to manage the businesses in the VUCA world. I mean, it's changing. You need your workplace to change rapidly, change fast. And which means you need your customers, your stakeholders, your investors, employees, everyone to be agile and believe in that change. So give them a reason to change. Then it's easier for you to make them agile. Give them a reason to believe and take the ownership of the change. And when the things are not so predictable, your purpose will give you a reason, or it will be the platform for you to make consistent decisions. You'll never know what's going to happen day after tomorrow. But you have the purpose in front, transcending your financial targets. It'll give you the guiding light to take decisions on this uncertain world. That'll be the dipstick. Right. So, Adam said purpose-led organizations outperform peers due to several unique advantages. He said, I think 38% of the purpose-led organizations outperform the competition. It's highly volatile, highly competitive. So there are certain reasons why purpose-led leadership outperform competition or peers, and through that they have sustainable advantage in the marketplace. And based on the research, there are 5 reasons why they outperform competition. And I'm going to link those 5 reasons to the best practices of Gamma Pizza Craft or Pizza Hut Sri Lanka, and try and tell you the success story and some of the failures what we have had during our journey of past 20 years, or 30 years rather. So here's the story of the crust that gained the trust of the nation. Here's the story of a company who put purpose in front, transcending the financial objectives. Through that, we drove innovation and agility. How did we do that? In our business context, we have different restaurants across the country, right? It's a set of mini companies around the country. So we have this concept called RGM number 1. Restaurant General Manager number one. That's the tagline of the company. Restaurant General Manager who's managing a restaurant has his own P&L. He has access to data. He's empowered to take decisions. He's managing his unit. Generally, we call restaurant manager, but we call restaurant general manager. He's empowered to make decisions, and duty as the leadership of is to make their life easy. Through that, we have been able to attract, going into new territories, build new products, and we have a lot of success stories about being agile in the marketplace. That's one of the key lessons. RGM number one, you empower people to be innovative. Your customer service happens at the time it happens. You do not have a fallback situation if you create bureaucracies. So you believe in your people. We have this concept. We believe in our people. We coach and support. When you walk into restaurants, we believe in them, and we go with the intention of coaching and supporting them. That's the culture what Gamma Pizza Craft has nurtured. Through that, we've been able to win the market, and we are the only country in the world where Pizza Hut has the market leadership against all the international QSR franchisees. Number two, customer loyalty and differentiations. Right. Customer loyalty and differentiation, our number speaks about it. And the purpose of ours is we will make our people happy. Happy people will make good pizzas and make our customers happy and make happy bottom line. That's the story. Happy people and happy customers. So we have programs like Customer Mania Mindsets, where we celebrate the success stories of Customer Mania, the great customer service occasions of our people. Right. Then, resilience in the face of crisis. I think one of the companies which managed to be on top of the market during the COVID crisis, as well as the financial crisis what we had during past couple of years. During COVID, we put our people first. We ensured that their families and our staff are safe. That was the starting point. Our biggest challenge was to gain trust of the people and get them to work. So company-wide, I think we invested on the quarantine facilities and the treatment facilities. Even the people who could not go home were given accommodation, and we managed to build a fund for anyone in the family. If someone in the family goes to ICU, we managed to treat those people through a fund. So that's through that purpose-led leadership, that resilience, people stood up. They came out and said, we will try and push the boundaries, and we'll try and go forward. And then within the COVID period time, Pizza Hut managed to double its outlet footprint. That was the best time that we had during, I would say, last 2-3 decades. We managed to double the business. We tripled our top line. We tripled our bottom line. And that shows the resilience of the workforce. I mean, our turnover rates are much, much higher, or rather lesser, compared to most of the quick service restaurants in the world. Generally, in the quick service restaurant industry in the world, the turnover rates are at 100% or 110%. Right. But Gamma Pizza Hut Lanka is one of the companies where we have the lowest turnover rates in the Pizza Hut world. That's because the purpose. We put people first, people on the front page, and our customers on the front page. And finally, this has helped us to attract purpose-driven investment. Many of you might not be knowing that we have the very first restaurant in the country which was operated by people with special abilities. We have a restaurant which is operated by people who's hearing impaired and speech impaired. That's the very first restaurant in the world operated in such manner. And we strive to have a minimum of 10% of the workforce with special needs. We have a call center who's working with us, and there are people who's walking impaired people working from home, working at the call center. So we created a space for these people, and we managed to bring in 620 million rupees investment from the YUM Foundation, which is a franchisor foundation, into Sri Lanka to develop vocational training centers for underprivileged youth and people with special needs or special abilities. So we have completed, I think, 13 such centers across the country, and the aim is to complete 25 centers by end of this year. Through that, we are trying to get a profession, a career for marginalized youth, underprivileged people, and people with special needs who needs a space in this country. So these are the benefits that we have got through purpose-led leadership. We have put our stakeholders' happiness in the future. Our purpose is to deliver delightful experience to all stakeholders in the quick service restaurant space. This is the purpose that we all are rallying around. Be it our people, who will be in the people on the front page, be it our suppliers, be it our customers, or be it this country where we need support to develop and take the country forward in the QSR space. So that's how the purpose-led leadership has supported us to have the sustainable business growth, and that's what it is, the story of the company or the crust that gained the trust of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Chintaka Mahesh, our first of three speakers on this segment. Our second organization is from the education and training industry, the Oxford College of Business. Representing the Oxford College of Business, we are joined today by Dr. Dhanushka Kulatilaka. He is the Director of Education and Administration in Oxford College of Business. With a distinguished academic background, he holds a Doctor of Business Administration, an MBA, a BSc. Dhanushka specializes in several key areas, including corporate strategy development, change management, strategic organization behavior, operations management, in education environment, strategic human resource management, research and development, and training and development. Over the years, he has also made significant contributions as a director and HR consultant for several reputable organizations, with more than 12 years of experience in teaching postgraduate and undergraduate courses, Danushka has excelled as a senior lecturer in subjects such as strategic management, strategic human resource management, and international and comparative human resource management. He will talk on the people approach, focusing on creating inclusive policies to foster diversity, equity, and inclusion, thereby empowering employees to reach their full potential at Oxford College of Business. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome Dr. Danushka Kulathilaka. Put your hands together, everybody.
So good morning, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure, to talk to this LI Talk audience. So I'm actually, I would like to begin my talk by quoting what famous American poet said in her poem, Human Family. She said, "We are more alike, my friends, than we are disalike." There's most of us mostly talked about differences all the time. So what's the difference between myself and this young lady? We both have 2 eyes. We both have 1 nose. From here to here, except few, many things are similar. So this is what we have emphasized, and this is what we have made our people understood in my organization. We are more alike than we are disalike. What is disalike has been communicated and made them aware how we are going to respect, value those differences, and bring the maximum potential of the individual to develop the organization and the community. So at Oxford College of Business, what we have done is we have not only talked about diversity, because I always see diversity as a number game, So what we always look for, how many males, how many females, how many people between 50 to 60, it's a number game. It's not so difficult to change. And as many of the speakers have talked here, you should not change, it has already come with a diversity of 5 generations at the same time. It's a number game. So how we are going to use this to create the impact is what is called inclusion. How we are going to accommodate these differences to bring meaning to the organization and sustainability is what we have identified as diversity and inclusion at Oxford College of Business, the impact. So, Oxford being a people-centric organization and have been in the great place to work for the last 12 years. In fact, when we started working with Great Place to Work long ago, 12 years ago, we have been compelled to think new ways and means in order to accommodate the differences of our staff. I well remember 12 years before when I was talking to Ms. Shanika Ratnayaka. She was talking about 16 practices at that time. I know now it's different. That is where I thought we should have a policy to accommodate LGBT community in the workplace. Because if it is 12% in the total world population, our customer base is also 12% is of that. How can we understand the mindset of them in order to attract them as our potential customers? So it is Great Place to Work who initiated this thought process in my staff initially to come up with more diversity policies 12 years before. So I'm grateful to Shanika and her team for initiating this sort of conference and an initiative to make Sri Lanka better places to work. So we want to feel each and every one of our staff that they are respected, empowered, so that they can work to their potential, the maximum potential. What does diversity, equity, and inclusion mean to OCB? Many of my academic colleagues sometimes talked about equality and equity as something quite similar. I feel equality is something, perhaps you decided to give t-shirts to your staff and you come up with a t-shirt and give everyone. That's equality. Equity, perhaps you customize it to suit the individual needs of everyone. So therefore, we want to establish equity and equality so that the staff feel that they are always included. So we have linked our DE&I policy with our values, excellence. As many speakers said earlier, more creativity, more innovation can be produced if the workforce is diverse. Yes, so we want to achieve excellence through the diversified workforce. We want to bring equity. So the addressing of different needs of individuals. And we want to come up with responsiveness and also resilience. I think Oxford College of Business is one of the pioneer institutions which responded the COVID crisis time more successfully and tripled our bottom line that financial year. Because the diversified workforce, having these 5 generations in the same staff, brought us so many innovative ideas to make the organization resilient through creativity and innovation. We never dragged even a single day in any of our degree programs due to COVID. By the time COVID came to Sri Lanka, we had already started teaching online. We had already started teaching at broadcasting level, going beyond online teaching. Because we value the ideas coming from the staff from diverse backgrounds, especially the young ones. So our approach in 3 stages: empower through the leadership development, hiring practices, career advancement, and then engage them. We have community partnerships, cross-functional collaboration, and then to sustain. Sustainability is what my friend earlier spoke, how important it is. As PISA have shown tremendous resilience during COVID. It's a very difficult industry to retain staff. We also, in my organization, have done the same. Perhaps not at that big number, but providing services for huge community which come as our students. So OCB have identified certain key areas that we should work on in order to make sure our workplace is inclusive. So repairing the career ladder for women's technical roles, then closing gender and race gaps. And also, so when you bring perhaps the gender diversity, we wanted to balance the hierarchy of having quite equal numbers. But sometimes certain policies we bring for organizations can have a significant discrimination on other groups. Certain organizations they want to make 50% men and women in their hierarchy, and they want to bring it in 5 years. So what would happen to the men in the top level? Because they know that they are not going to be promoted in next few years' time. Because the policy is what? Have 50% women in the workforce within a very short period of time. Therefore, such initiatives should be done with great care. We have brought the concept of equality in terms of gender, but over the last 15 years. Not in a year which discriminates men in the workplace. So, building a people-centric culture, because inclusiveness can be built if the culture simply supports. So so people to accept, value others. Therefore, Oxford College of Business, we have taken number of initiatives which I don't want to read. So many things: equitable talent acquisition, career development and mentoring, employee resource groups, inclusive workplace policies, even in line with the guidelines given by Great Place to Work. We take part in so many competitions, business award ceremonies a year. Last 12 months, we have won 37 national and international level awards. We take part not to win. Winning is the bonus. But to adhere good practices proposed by the bodies as well as the other organizations. Winning is always a bonus for us. We have been in the list for the last 12 years, number 2 in small and medium scale in Asia, even last time and this time. But what we have gained from the sort of international and national level competitions is we have improved our business over the time. So, diversity and inclusion is a part of our corporate strategy. Because once we bring the concept into the corporate strategy, then only we can make this happen and make this sustainable. So integrate the business case organization to the corporate strategy, integrate diversity and inclusion stakeholders and strategic planning team, and more importantly, align the HR strategy with the D&I plan. So then, in order to succeed, we have to make sure that we sustain what we have gained so far. So therefore, we have made certain matrices in place to measure where are we and where we are heading for. So diverse hiring metrics, employee satisfaction and engagement. So that basically has helped us enormously to retain. So we are one of the institutions where we have got the lowest employee turnover rate, especially voluntary employee turnover rate in the country. And always we encourage senior level staff to take part in workshops in diversity and inclusion, because they are the people who drive this. If they don't respect the concept, how others are going to be included? Therefore, senior management should definitely undergo a rigorous training on this to make the workplace a better one for everyone. So as I say always, diversity is something inevitable. It's there. But how we are going to bring inclusion will decide your organization is going to be a great one, a great place to work. To bring that inclusion, we have to foster the right culture. That culture has to be built gradually but surely, making sure that organization is going to sustain for the next so many years to come. Thank you so much for listening to me. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanushka. Finally, we're down to our third organization. We have with us Dimitri Pereira, Country Manager, DHL Keels Private Limited. As the Country Manager of DHL Keels Private Limited, Dimitri is responsible for managing, developing and growing the DHL Express business while providing direction and leadership to ensure profitable revenue growth, satisfactory cash flow, market leadership and the establishment of industry-leading service standards. Dimitri's work experience spans 32 years in multiple industries, including office automation, automobiles, advertising, apparel, and logistics. Dimitri has a master's degree in business administration from the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura and a postgraduate diploma from the Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK, along with a certified professional marketer Asia status from the Asia Pacific Marketing Federation. Dimitri will speak on the culture approach, and this area emphasizes about building a high-performance culture that embraces meaningful values, enhances collaboration, and nurtures growth at DHL Keels. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dimitri Pereira.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to talk to you about how culture has transformed DHL into what it is today, moving from a good organization to a great organization, and now we are in the process of moving from a great organization to a better one. A little bit of thought about culture. Culture is the thread that weaves together history, tradition, language, music, and values. Culture is the stories we tell. It's the customs that we adhere to, the rituals we perform, the music we listen to, the holidays that we celebrate. And it's something that evolves all the time. It's never static, but it helps organizations and societies to grow and thrive. Adam spoke about Peter Drucker, and I want to borrow a statement from Peter Drucker, and he said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." So what does that mean? If you've got the right culture going, that itself becomes your strategy. So in a global organization such as DHL, how we bring people from across the world, from 220 countries, to believe in one dream, in one goal, is what I'm going to talk to you about today. So to start off with, I'd like to show a video, but the clicker doesn't seem to work. So this is about DHL
Every
and who
night,
we are.
as the world switches off, another world awakens. In hubs and gateways across the planet, they are delivering dreams for the greatest brands on Earth, fulfilling the desires of drivers and gamers, of students, mothers and fathers, doctors and nurses, farmers and people who work the land, of you and me. This dedicated network are the unseen heroes of global reputation. Through the long hours of darkness, working with passion, precision, and perseverance, the silent guardians scan and sort, lift and load, care and carry the products of the names we all know. And when their work is done, and their charges take flight beyond the clouds, above the earth, we can rest assured that the guardians of the night, trusted, tireless, and always on time, have brought us one step closer to our dreams and aspirations.
So I'm going to be using lots of videos and pictures because I think culture is such an intangible thing. You can actually experience it when you see it and when you hear it best. Okay, so we call ourselves the world's most international company, and it's because our business spans across 220 countries. We have people from all over the world working for this organization, as I said before, with one dream in mind and one goal in mind, and culture is the center of all this and how all of this is possible. So our approach to this is through our strategy. We bring culture into the center of our strategy. So to talk a little bit about it, let me talk to you about the strategy house. Right on top, we have our purpose. Our purpose is connecting people, improving lives in everything that we do, whether it be our employees, our customers, and all our stakeholders. Our vision is to be we are the logistics company for the world, right? Being in so many countries across the world, that's our vision. And our values are respect and results. So we achieve our results without compromising on respect. Then we move on to our vision, which is excellence simply delivered. This is where our strategy gets intertwined with our HR strategy, of making a great company better. So this has actually worked for us, and I want to show you how a great place to work for all and what it means. And to do that, let me show this journey in a very small clip, and then we'll speak about how the strategy becomes part of the execution bit. So moving on, a little bit more about our strategy and how our values are enabler of our purpose and vision. When we speak about respect, these are the softer aspects, how we respect each other, all our stakeholders, how we embrace diversity and inclusion, and how we promote honest feedback. And then the results bit, which is plain and simple, our goals. Our strategy also extends to what we call 4 pillars, 3 letters, and 1 passport. So the 4 pillars, moving from left to right, drives each other, starting with people who are the center of our strategy. Motivated people drive great service quality drives loyal customers, and loyal customers drives a profitable network. What do we mean by 3 letters? P equals GQ. People equals growth and quality. So in everything that we do, we bring people into the center of it. And then 1 passport. So I want to show you this. This is a symbol of our training culture. All DHL employees carry this passport. It's called Passport to Success. In this passport, from the time you join in and to your exit, basically, all trainings are stamped just like a visa. This is my passport, and as you can see, our trainings across all disciplines, whether it's in HR, finance, operations, IT, across the years, you build up your passport with your visas. So the uniqueness of this is the fact that as a global organization, this passport is valid across the organization. You can actually go to any country, plug in and play, because that passport, your training, is recognized. And the fact is, the training culture brings all disciplines across all cultures into one platform. So I can talk to you a little bit about it. It's called the Certified International Specialist Program. It enhances specialized knowledge. It brings in a culture of customer centricity across all disciplines, and it drives 21st century leadership from the grassroots level upwards. So on the top graph, here you have our employee engagement scores. What we have an internal survey called Employee Opinion Survey. And if you map that across the years, you can see how that translates to our EBIT performance. As you can see, employee motivation or employee engagement is directly proportional to organizational results. And at the bottom, you can also see our Great Place to Work awards in tangent with the graph that is above. So culture has definitely made our organization much better than what it was before. It has evolved over time to become a company where everyone can work together. Every religion, race, preferences, anything that you want is accommodated in this organization. So let's look at a little bit about this. DHL for Her is our program for females. In this program, we try to encourage female leadership through lots of initiatives. Unfortunately, because of the time frame, I can't actually go in depth into any of this, but I can talk to you a little bit about it later. Then we also have set ourselves a goal to become a great company to work for all, which is embedded in our sustainability initiatives, as well as an initiative called Rainbow Net, which is focused on the LGBT community. Then, moving on to employee engagement. This is Asia Cup is actually one of the leading events in our calendar, engagement calendar. It's an Asia-wide program where all countries in Asia participate in a football and cheerleading competition, which drives engagement. So I want to show you a little clip about it and just try to see what kind of culture it is able to foster. By the way, this was in Singapore this year.
Competition is number 2, friendship is number 1. Are you happy?
It's amazing. You can see the atmosphere. It's unbelievable. I have like eaten some great food, see some people express some great emotion. I've seen some like real star artists, you know, and cheerleading, and it's amazing event. So I really enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Please go back, share it with your colleagues, how great you feel. Go and share with your friends outside the company how great you feel. Please have a safe flight, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Yes, and Sri Lanka did take part too a couple of months ago. We took 50 employees to Singapore to celebrate in this event. And it's one of the most awaited for events in the calendar because we do a selection based on different criteria. Last time we did based on long service employees. So people who have never had the chance to travel get the opportunity to actually take part in this event. Right, now we will move on to appreciation of our employees. We do something called an Employee Appreciation Week. Every day of the week, a particular week, we do different activities. And the program is curated by the employees themselves. And this is, again, an yearly event motivating our employees and something that they look forward to every year. Then we have our employee recognition platform, which is Employee of the Year, which is, again, outside of Sri Lanka, but it basically brings people from all over the world into one exotic location. We have our Employee of the Month and Quarter, which is done locally, Can-Do Awards, Long Service Awards, ACE Awards, and Sales Champions Club, to name a few. Now I want to show you a little clip about the last Employee of the Year program that took place in Vietnam. Right. So digitalization is also an important and focus area for us. It enhances customer experience, employee experience, and operational efficiency. Now, one of the key themes around this digitalization is how we bring about an internal engagement program. We have something called Smart Connect, which is like a Facebook, where employees actually can interact with each other, share content, and take part in competitions. It's a fun place to interact, and it has actually enabled a lot of interaction, motivation, and let's have a look at it in a very short
Step into
video.
a portal to possibility. Smart Connect is your portal to the wonderful world of DHL. There's so much to discover. It's your own personalized gateway to useful HR and employee self-services, as well as the latest business news, announcements, and events, all in your local language. It's a place where everyone at DHL can chat with colleagues or connect an entire team wherever you are in the world. It's a fun place for quizzes, competitions, and raffles, and even winning great prizes. You can visit Smart Connect on mobile or desktop anytime, so you'll never miss an update. Download it on your phone by searching Smart Connect DHL on Google Play or the App Store, or access the desktop version at connect.dpdhl.com. Download, dive in, and enjoy your stay.
So as you can see, it's engagement, engagement, and engagement. Right. So again, the theme around bringing people together and creating a fun atmosphere is that everybody, every day, everywhere becomes a little bit better. Right. We also try to engage our employees to our sustainability program, and this is called our Wheel of Purpose. On the left-hand side of the circle, you see what we do every day, which is through the CIS program, Certified International Specialist. The work ethic that we try to exemplify is head, heart, and guts. Great place to work is something that we promote internally and externally as well as a great employer. Sorry. Can we go back? Right. So, sorry about that. So it's the head, heart, and guts work ethic, and then our employee opinion survey where we encourage feedback, and we infuse the feedback into how we actually work with our colleagues. And on the right-hand side, you see how we actually make a difference in the community that we live in. And again, we engage our employees with Go Green, with a Go Green process, Go Teach, which is how we actually go into communities to teach, volunteering programs, Go Help, again, how we help less to do or lesser privileged individuals, and then Go Trade, the trade facilitation platform. Through all of this, we engage our employees to the external world. And again, another short video about a volunteering program that we encourage our employees to have, and the organization helps in some ways to continue this program once they're enlisted.
Think about the generations and to say we want to make it a better place for our children and our children's children, so that they know it's a better world for them, and think if they can make it a better place.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love, and this place is much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me.
Right. So moving on, some of these programs are around helping, senior citizens. volunteering programs about helping autistic children, and then also beach cleanups. And these are some of the examples of, DHL's Got Heart. Then we move on to our mobility policy. This is something that we started during COVID times. We still have this program running because we found that it works whether during COVID or outside. 2 days of the work, employees get to work from home. And this has really encouraged people to be motivated and has actually helped us as an employer brand. Some other programs just in pictures, and I'm going to move through this very quickly. Developing our leaders is done through our Certified International Manager and Certified International Specialist programs. And then we have them role modeling the Respect and Results theme. Future of Work, we spoke, and these pictures are going to bring together all that I spoke of earlier. Health and safety are well-being programs, and then the Go programs like Go Teach, Go Help, Go Green. These are some of our engagement programs, as you can see on the left. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there for a second. So always finding a reason to celebrate, always finding a reason to engage. This has actually helped us to build this culture that we have right now. And it cuts across all ethnicities, all races. So basically, everyone appreciates the fact that we celebrate these events across the year. Appreciate and care for our employees through different programs that we have calendared right through the year. Okay, then a little bit about the Go programs. And again, the programs are curated by the employees themselves. They are involved, they get engaged, and they run our programs. Again, we have a coaching culture across the organization. From training doesn't stop there. It's brought back to our day-to-day life, and including the DHL for Her program, how we encourage female leadership across the organization, how we become an employer of brand through Great Place to Work, and also through our employee opinion surveys, bringing in a safety-first culture, because we don't only want to be a great place to work, but we also want it to be a safe place to work. What all this does, and what we want to create, is the feeling of these words. So our culture is written all over this page, and this is the type of culture that we want to create. So we look at what we want to create, and then we work backwards. So all the words that, shout out motivation, leadership, encouragement, it's all there. So how do we do this? So leadership takes center stage, from grassroots level leadership right to the top of the organization. There's a lot of doing, day by day, a lot of caring, with consistency, and a lot of listening. So I've come to the end of my presentation. I want to leave you with this clip. Hope I have been able to, show you in pictures and in videos the kind of culture we have. I want to basically tail off with this. Thank you.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down.
I keep pressing the wrong button. Can you play that video, please?
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown a mind. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come.